about enough, right? The Black Stallion film is child abuse, it's animal abuse thing, and I also think that in sport, gymnastic, in swimming, in abuse is many places. It's when I look at the Me Too, you kind of realize that Scout churches, the Catholic Church, um, any kind of way where people get close to children in your neighborhood, in the buses. I've been on cases where the bus driver turned out to be dangerous, or the scout leader, or you know. So basically, I'm always, since I was a child, I'm always radar, how dangerous this, and I'm 55, and I still feel a little bit like, because I raised my voice against abuse, I'm being punished for sure. And I think even the neglect of case handling in my son's and Chris Stevens case is probably basically economical abuse and explore of my money, government money, design, film money, and that's one of the motives. Another motive is surely child abduction, pedophilia network, kind of brotherhood. The one helped the other, the lawyer helped the judge, the police helped the judge, blah, blah. So you have almost like a big cake where it's building up layers. So if a child is abused, you might be in a layer where the doctors shut up, and you might come over a layer where the judges shut up, and where the police is not working. So you can be in zones in the world where there is practical no justice. And another thing is, I worked against terrorism, and I worked against regimes and stuff. In the military is abuse, right? And there is like a silent way of you belong to me kind of stuff. And another thing is that when I was captured in Copenhagen and driven to Litauen, I was military raped. And in a way you could say that that's wrong anyway, but I realized that's actually, of all the torture there was in Litauen, that's what I remember, because that was a sort of, I don't know, something that I'm good at remembering. There was a lot of other stuff that I didn't remember, but again, that's the violation. And I also read some books about rapists, the mind of a rapist, the conclusive of a rapist, and on the pedophilia network and so on. And most people think that pedophilia and rape is a sort of sexual act. It's not. It's aggression. And that's also why I see it in Litauen as an aggressor, not as a sexual act. I mean, the soldiers do not have any relationship to me. They don't have any sexual need, whatever. They are aggressive, and that's all. And I also think that when I grew up, missing the Australian and again international silence about the Australian cases, and in London and Denmark, and I also realized that some of the hackers, the mobile hackers, or even on FM radio, is the sort of people that get excited by hitting on you. Even it's only a telephone that I'm supposed to talk to a lawyer, and then I'm talking to some person in that gets high on it. And another thing I realized about Denmark, when I was a young woman, I was a good dancer and a pretty woman, and there were agreements around me that I didn't know about, that if I was on a bar, you could kind of approach and I wouldn't know what was going on. So I had been offered, like, do you want to work for someone? And I didn't even know I was in. I just thought I was going out as a single woman and maybe getting laid. I wasn't. So you have a sort of shadow world where a young woman goes out to, let's say she moves from from Jutland to study in Copenhagen, and she don't know she's a target because she don't know anything about that world. And there's a slide of it like, okay, she's going out and dating, and they know her type, they know what kind of person that would address her, you know. There's, you could say, money under the table. And I even think they're sort of casting, if I was not in gymnasium, I stayed out, so I was in work and so on. But I even think that typecast in gymnasium university, saying this woman, she can maybe be export to marry American. This woman can be maybe slided down to escort. This woman is a little bit trouble, so she can maybe become a drug sex worker. And so I think they cast. They cast the profile and they target. And also I think another thing when we talk about targeting, I think this isolation that goes with being abused, that you don't really want to get, you know, you don't want to love anybody because you've been let down and you don't really trust them. If I raise my voice against, you know, the abusers, they will name me difficult conclusion. They will like, oh, you're lying, or you're crazy, or mind your own business, or threaten, or something like that. So basically, no matter if you're, I was good in sport, gymnastic, riding, shooting, icing, athletics, handball. I was good, and now they target my son, who is, if he's alive, I know he's going to be exposed for abuse in sport. I know he's going to be in trouble, and I know he's not going to do as good in school as he's supposed to. And that's only because of you. It's a society that accept and explore and make a lot of money. Every month I'm missing a top negotiator 900,000 kronas for sorting out the Chris Stevenson case and the communication lack of Chris Stevenson, and finding answers for that. That's a foreign office work. And they are, instead of that, they're sending bills, 900 kronas for my son in an illegal case. So they're actually over administration, post mobile mail control in 12 years, while they're taking 1 million per month, right? Not a million, yeah, 1 million per month. And that will say that they are actually sending me a bill instead of my paycheck. They're controlling my internet, they're controlling my post. I get document faults. They're hacking my phone calls, and they are dealing with children. So when you radicalize somebody, when you kind of press them into, I should say, like a Gallup horse box, right? I'm isolated. I can't get a job because the hackers, or like the post mobile and phone control, is not supposed to hit me to get a job. It's supposed to what, right? It's illegal. So I can't find a proper place to stay. I can't find a job because you're doing this. And another thing is that you're pretending there is no Chris Stevenson case. You're pretending that there is no lack of royalty, design, and paychecks from government. You took the money, and you took my child, and then afterwards you try and bury me. And when I realized this, you know, there's one way out. That's action. I'm military, and I don't think you should come here anymore. I don't think you should show up with whatever, my boy, somebody else's boy, 1 hour a month, and pretending you are a normal person. These people coming with my boy 1 hour a month is criminal, and they are mentally ill. They're like mentally disturbed. I can hear that on the tape. She freaked out, this commune employed person, when I asked her about her CV. Then she got really hinges and went ballistic. Another thing is they didn't know the CPR number of the boy's father and they were supposed to be the commune people, meaning they don't know the boy at all, probably. So basically, I'm going after finding the killer of Chris Stevenson and the person who tried to kill me and the missing boy. I'm trying to find the killer and the killer attempt or killing of my son. I'm trying to find my money, and that's both things that you don't like, I'm sure. But I'm gonna find you, and I'm gonna fucking force you to sign an agreement on you get the child back, give me my money. And I'm gonna use all of the forces, all of my network, all of my contacts, all the technology in the fucking world to make you agree on that, because you are a criminal and you belong in a jail.